the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Stoned Appetit with your host, as always, it's me, Kip. To my left, I got CB. Across the way, I have Eve. But it's our Justin Timberlake episode, Chris. Our fifth time guest.
We need like a blazer for it.
Is it 6?
I thought it was 6.
We're
I thought
not
we made a
counting.
big fuss about 5 last time.
Maybe she is the Peyton Manning of this
I could be wrong.
podcast.
I could be wrong.
She's done more guest appearances than anyone. That is the woman, the myth, the legend, Denise Mickelson from Colorado Restaurant Association, joining us to talk about a summer gauntlet, unbeknownst to anybody else how big this year is going to be. But before we dive into that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. If I use a wrong word, you just have to let me roll with it, Denise. Our first sponsor of today is our friends from Birdcall. We're actually recording this on location in Five Points, and it has me craving fried chicken Sammy's. I'm hearing rumblings about some secret new menu items that we'll be tasting from our sponsors this summer, Chris. It's a perfect time to get off the macro and get in the micro. That's right, work with companies that are hatched right here in Denver. Birdcall started here, it's local here, and while they have grown their wings, stretched their arms to places like Arizona and Texas, they still call Colorado home. They have limited time offerings that help make donations of every allotted sandwich to a fundraiser of the chef's choice. We love them not just because of the triple threat hot chicken sandwich of May. We love them because those tater tots slap. The service is always exceptional because you don't actually have to talk to fucking anybody. It's all kiosks and online. I love it. It's a stoner's paradise. And you hear that cocktail shaking in the background. It's getting me all excited. Our next sponsor is our friends over at Seed Money Consulting. The drinks are on them today. That's because you can put your mind at ease when you have great financial advising, like our friends over at Seed Money Consulting. Based out of right here in Greenwood Village, it may be tax season is over, but why stress over the books all year round? Bring on some professionals that know what they're doing. Our friends at Seed Money Consulting love to work with folks from the cannabis and hospitality space, 1099s and content creators. No matter the situation you may find yourself in as a business professional, Seed Money Consulting can make sure you don't leave money on the table throughout the year. So shout out to our friends at Seed Money Consulting. Give them an old Google search. When you reach out to them, tell them I sent you. It doesn't actually give us anything back, but by God, do we love them. Whew, I knocked the shit out of that, didn't I? That's what happens with one glass of wine from Yacht Club, and the juices are just flowing. How you been, sister?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm
You
doing
seem
well.
very well. You seem good.
It's a facade, it's been a fucking month.
I know,
but at the same time, we're all battling through something. Everyone has a journey. But at the same time, there's a lot of reason to be excited. I'm getting fired up because not only do I get to have happy hour cocktails with you today, but this time next week, I'm going to be putting on my red sequins, my red velvet. I mean, maybe some Juicy Couture. It's Drink Red Wear season.
It's very exciting, but today's only Wednesday, so don't get dressed next Wednesday. Get dressed next Thursday, because that is the day of the party.
And he comes off of a successful ad read and then just bombs.
No, it's not a bomb. He's going to be so excited. He's going to do a dress rehearsal. He's going to try on his outfit, and then the next day he will wear it out to the museum.
It's like when kids
It's gonna
put
be
their
amazing.
first outfit for first day of school. They're like, my fit is
you
going to
gotta
hit
try
today.
that on
That's
a
what
head.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I mean, I've worn tuxedo jackets with roses. Last year, I dyed my hair red. I found this little vintage shop right off Broadway that has carousel of clothes that they do based off of hues of colors. So they literally just have a gamut of rays. Like shout out to the sun, because that's exactly what it is. Like every single hue, just in a circle. It's
Straight to the red section.
and just shop to my heart's content.
How exciting.
It's right before Postino. Shout out to Red Wine. It's right there on the same side of the road on Broadway. I just don't know the name, so if anybody's like, oh, I need to get my festive threads for next Thursday's fundraiser, check this place out, y'all. They have, bell bottoms, Western, pearl snaps. It's fucking awesome.
I'm gonna go.
I've got a robe that looks like a little Buffalo Bill, but tag teamed with a little Dirk Diggler. I'm very excited about it. It's gonna be awesome.
That's going to be great.
Okay, so obviously you are a 5, if not 6-timer on the podcast, so we won't ask you the basic intros, but I'm going to pass it off to Chris while I sip on this delicious nectar of the gods as we kind of just dip our toe into the pool, give everybody a refresher about who Denise is and why it's taken her so long to get back on the pod.
Well, I guess we got to start with, she was on the inaugural committee of March Madness. So let's first let's get your thoughts. What did you think of this year's March Madness before we dive into the Restaurant Association and this wonderful event?
From the outside, it seemed just as mad as ever, right? You have some opinionated followers for sure, right?
Yeah.
But I think where it landed was, chef's kiss. I love Sapsua. I'm obsessed. So.
The returning champion versus, and I think, another committee member, Jeremy Harlan of CNN, said it best. He was like, it's going to be shiny new toy versus, like the fan favorite in the community, because Penelope has definitely been that. But Sapsua, whether they battled back against folks from behind or they didn't take their foot off the gas for 4 weeks. It's so exhausting for the teams that don't have like PR or social teams, because they're like, shit, Kip's just thrown me to the wolves again this week. But they were unbelievably gracious and deserved winners. I thought we had a wonderful showing and it really did reflect a lot of the great parts of Denver's food scene, whether it be a lot of Asian food, which I think has become a really fan favorite.
Because that's a huge trend going on in the scene right now. It's
Dank-ass
more,
dumplings,
we have
fresh ingredients.
more and more excellent iterations of Asian cuisine, and that's great, and everybody's recognizing it. I love it. Did you see Mile High Asian Food Week this year? Was insane.
vendors.
It was beautiful. It was so much coverage. Everybody was so excited about it. It filled my feed, and I loved it. I thought it was wonderful.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue into what you just said, Chris, which is the Colorado Restaurant Association. And for those that don't know, Denise's first time on the podcast, we pretty much just handcuffed her and took her to a restaurant as the food editor for 5280. But for the last couple of years, you have been kind of the marketing and the outward face of those that obviously work in the industry, but you're always boots on the ground out there supporting local restaurants as well. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing at the CRA and what the CRA's got on the docket beyond just next Thursday's big ass fundraiser.
We have a lot of fun stuff going on, I have to say. So the CRA supports restaurants from top to bottom, right? The association side supports restaurant owners, keeping them in compliance, helping at the state legislature. The legislative session just ended. We made sure that restaurants were protected through all the hundreds and hundreds of laws that were passed. We got alcohol to go passed permanently.
Great.
So the law was already in effect. It had been passed in 2021, but it was supposed to expire next summer. No longer. Now it's permanent. All these restaurants can use, that extra revenue source forever and can plan on it and count on it. So that was a huge win for us this year. So we support the owners in a bunch of ways, and then our foundation supports restaurant workers. If they are experiencing hardship or an emergency, we'll give them grants. We do high school training, apprenticeship, we're helping with the workforce, labor issues. So pretty much if you're a worker or an owner, we are here for you. And Drink Red, to segue back to it, is it's a fundraiser for the foundation. So we are supporting restaurant workers, all those people that serve you, that help you, that give you your third spaces and make all our restaurants feel like home. They need help too, and we're here to do it.
So how many
third space? We used to say we were the kings of the third place or whatever, but it's such a not American term that everybody was like, you got third place? What'd you get third place in? I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not saying this. Yeah.
How many restaurants are now a part of the Colorado Restaurant Association?
We have like over 5,000 members across the state. I mean, we go from Grand Junction to, Burlington. Like we do the whole, shout out to Josh. We do the whole state. And not everyone's a member, but really our values, our goal is to shine a light on the entire restaurant scene. So I don't care if you're a member or not. I hope you are, but if you're not, we're still going to shine a light on you. And that's another cool thing. We're revamping our awards this year. They've been a bit insular. They've been for members only. We are opening the whole thing up. We're rebranding. I can't tell you all about it now. We'll talk about it more this fall. But we've got Drink Red coming up. We kick off the summer with Drink Red. We end the summer with Denver Food and Wine. September 7th is the big grand tasting, and then we move into, our award season.
I love award season. Personally, as a recipient of an award. But at the same time, I think that's a great idea because, y'all have always carried the flag and been an ambassador, not just for those that may be rowing in your boat, but everyone's trying to row in unison to a goal of, success and being able to, provide for employees and things of that nature. And that doesn't just stop at where your association may end. So you're exactly right, and campaigning for those and shining a light beyond just the. But I didn't realize that y'all worked across the whole state. It does make sense though, because we've seen folks like the Monarch Hotel and Casino has posted numbers. Like if we're talking dunk contests, we're talking 9.9s, 9.8s. I mean, they've been out there showing out for a couple of years, so that should have registered. But yeah, John.
Food at Monarch, it is unbelievable.
If I didn't have to associate the fact that I'm a fucking loser when I play the tables with great food, it'd be so much more fun to go to Black Hawk. But I go up there and I'm like, oh, Chris, look, there's someone wearing Cookie Monster pajama pants and slippers going to the slots table at 8 a.m. Aren't you excited to be up here?
Yeah, right.
Those are my people.
I do not gamble at casinos. I only gamble at, my own
at
table
our table,
or
you
at
take
friends'
my money.
tables.
Yeah.
I will take your money all day. I feel intimidated by a casino floor personally, but the food there is so good. And yes, we have Monarch Chop House in Drink Red VIP, and we have Bistro Mariposa in GA. And Bistro Mariposa is gunning for the Best Bite Award. Because Drink Red is also a competition.
Yeah.
So it's really fun for everybody to come, and anyone who buys a GA ticket gets to, put a literal Monarch poker chip in a bucket and choose which restaurant they like the best. And it's a very coveted award with a little dinosaur trophy and everything. It's not as cool as yours, but we're doing our best.
To be fair, you know that this is a dinosaur podcast, and Dinosaur Trophy, except for Eve, she's a flat earther. No, her and Chris duke it out for most progressive here on the pod. But I mean, that's Chris's back, that's his second home is the Dinosaur Museum. So hearing Dinosaur Trophy really tickles my pickle. And I'm curious, can maybe people that are most eccentric also win an award?
We should do that, actually. We should have a best dressed. Because
it's
much
not a
about
costume,
this
Chris,
is
it's a lifestyle.
you could wear a red costume. You could go as like a
Shut up. You
heart or a bottle of red wine or a devil or something.
What about someone that just comes with purple teeth and you're like, this guy loves red wine? Does that count?
No.
It's like lip stitch, but different.
We want everyone to just put on whatever they feel the best in. If it is a red costume, great. If it's a red sequin gown, great. If it's red pajama pants, I don't care. Just put on something red and amazing that you feel good and come party.
Shout out to our boy Jamie Grayson. He wears the Taylor Red version every single year to this event. And it's not about what you wear. It's that when you're there to support the restaurant foundation as well as every employee that works in this community. You never know when shit may hit the fan or when accidents may happen. I think over the last month we can all kind of see that it can just hit you in surprise.
The Angel Relief Fund, through the foundation, we also do mental health care grants. So if restaurant workers need any sort of mental health care, they can get a grant to use with their own doctor, or we have a partner with Kesed Wellness, and we can refer them to a doctor, and a practitioner, a therapist. People have all sorts of needs, right? We want to take care of the whole person. We want to help restaurant workers with training and help them succeed and move, up their career path. And we want to make sure that they're a happy, healthy, centered human as well.
No, and I mean, you gotta have, the ethos there is kind of what we're highlighting, in that you're looking out for, like you said, the whole body. And again, it doesn't matter what you dress that whole body in. Come as casual or as formal as you please. We like to have a little fun with it. Obviously, dyeing your hair is not a way to dress up, but by God, I looked like a snack. Well, let's talk a little bit about it. Obviously, we kind of laid the foundation or the groundwork for why we're doing the drink red where we're at, but we still have a week left. You can still buy tickets if you want to join us. Use promo code STONED, and you actually get discounted tickets, but let's talk about what that entails, because do I get to see, floating dinosaurs in the museum? Do we get to hang out and high-five and drink and dance on the patio until the wee hours? Epic sunsets overlooking City Park. Let's dive into that and some of the competitors that will be competing for Best Bite in 2024.
All right, so picture the museum at night. It's beautiful. It's so much fun.
Robin Williams running around.
It's really fun to be at the museum at night. You have access to the Hall of Gems and a bunch of different, permanent exhibits, but really the party is all these restaurants and unlimited. We've got wines, spirits, cocktails, NA drinks because, there are many who want to come and party and not drink alcohol. Fine, we're here for you. Republic National donates all the beverages, and then our restaurants, if you want to, so VIP is sold out, sadly, but we do have an amazing VIP lineup. That's up on the terrace. Get some pretty killer views up there. We've got Barolo Grill and the Bindery and Monarch Chop House, as I said, Kumoya and Altrea. And that just means that you get a little early access to those restaurants, but then the whole rest of the party starts at 7 o'clock. We have really good people. We have Brasserie Brixton, obviously, where we are sitting right now. Spoiler.
Yeah, you just spoiled me. I was going to do this
ruined
whole
Kip's whole thing.
roundabout, but it's okay. We'll come back to it.
We'll go back.
Keep
So
going
we've
through
got
the Danish. Shout out to
Brasserie Brixton, which I'm very excited about. Coperta. We've got Blackbird Public House. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. Daughter Thai, which is amazing. First time at Drink Red. I'm really excited. Esther's, GQ Barbecue, The Inventing Room. Ian Kleinman is going to be walking around with his, nitrogen and making people blow smoke, and he's going to do some amazing, exploding whipped cream, something or another. I don't even know, but it's going to be incredible. Kona Grill, Little Ricci's, Bistro Mariposa, Sam's always brings their chili, which everybody loves. STK, Super Mega VN, Wild Taco. It is going to be delicious. And for $70, although even less with your Stoned promo, you get all you can eat, all you can drink, photo ops, DJs, all the things. It's going to be amazing.
It really is a wonderful party, obviously for a great cause, but if you talk about bang for your buck, and when you look at the summer schedule of all of these food events, this is one of the reasons why we love it so much. Obviously, all the proceeds going to a good cause, but for $70, you get 20 plus bites, and you can circle them back as many fucking times as you want. And yes, she tipped the hand about Brixton, and we'll circle Jerk Harrison and Nick in a second. But Jason Ganal from GQ, he doesn't skip a beat when it comes to competitions. He's been doing it for 15 years. The guy brings a hammer with whether it's beef tenderloin or a pork belly burnt in, it is fucking divine. And then you have people like Paul Riley and Kenny from Coperta.
Kenny's going to bring something red. We don't know what yet.
I hope it's something in a red sauce because they have such great pasta. Hearing Daughter Thai is making their first appearance. So the variety is one of the great things that keeps it fun and a little spontaneous. If you're not a fan of spicy, you can steer clear of the green chilies, or maybe it's something spicy from a Daughter Thai, or if you're meat free. There's so many different options. You're not pigeonholed where we love other events, the burgers and the tacos and the chickens. This has got the full spread. It's fucking awesome.
And so it's like going to 15 restaurants while wearing a cool fun red outfit outside at the museum. Yeah. All you can drink.
Another thing, it's at one of the cooler locations.
Fun.
It's not just
Here he goes. Give him this minute.
Okay, you go to a party.
It's cooler.
I'll just stop talking then.
No, I agree. That museum is
Never mind.
awesome.
Whatever.
We have some inside activation. We've got the outside patio. The sun starts to set. It is so beautiful there. It's really cool. I mean, how many events do you get to go to at night? Denver Museum of Nature and Science is gorgeous. I love it.
And Chris made that and the patio where you can watch the sunset. It's It is so gorgeous. I thoroughly recommend it. But for $70, yes, it's the best bang for your buck of the food festy season. And we all know that nobody actually works on Fridays in Colorado. So having this on a Thursday night, it's a perfect, like you can walk home or sleep in the park. We maybe have done that in the earlier years.
Did I tell you my son will be on a school trip? Oh,
when the cat's
boy.
away, the mice will play.
I mean, maybe Bill's coming. Who knows what he's going to wear? But
red tux?
the child will be elsewhere. The child will be in a tent somewhere with his school. So we are going to have the freedom to have
Did you see
a
how
very
excited
good time.
She was. She was like, "Guess who's hosting late night?
Yep.
I got the nitrous
After
tank."
party. Very excited about it.
Well, I mean, just as we're as excited about that, it seems that we're equally excited about the growth of the CRA as well. It doesn't just stop with this one event. You mentioned y'all bookend food festival season by hosting Denver Food and Wine that showcases an even larger amount of the restaurant.
Wine is big, plus food trucks.
I was gonna say that's Chris's.
And Chris is
forte.
going to be my food truck consultant as we start inviting food trucks to participate this year. But it is going to be epic. It's going to be bigger than ever. And we're working on some special new things which are not confirmed yet, so I can't tell you. But we'll come back for that.
Hey, you're a twofer every year. You're good for at least 2 episodes. And if
It's
we
my-
ever need like a
it's my
Christmas
secret
album, we'll bring Denise back for one of the hits like that. But let's talk a little bit about it for maybe the restaurateurs or the businesses that are like, we would love to have the resources available to us, not only of the foundation, but the CRA working to kind of help promote restaurants that are either new on the scene or have finally kind of found their foothold. Brixton being one of the newest, I guess.
Excited I was when Brixton joined. I mean,
Shout out to Chef Nick.
because we want to shine a light on all the restaurants, but members, obviously, we're a membership organization. Members get special perks, right? We have an entire compliance center. Like, do you have any idea what these operators have to deal with and all the rules and regulations and paperwork and posters they have to have up and all like things that the more I learn about, the more I marvel at all the things like food and drink, and their staff is, incidental with all the things they have to do to stay in compliance with federal and state and local laws. And so we help do that with lots and lots of resources that are for our members only. They get access to lawyers. Like, we have a whole stable of lawyers that they can talk to for free every month. So any kind of issue they're facing, we can help them with that. There's so many things that we offer or try to offer. Also, United Healthcare. They can get really affordable healthcare through the CRA membership. Lots of things. We want to be here to help them because they work so fucking hard. We want to make sure that we make the rest of the business as easy as possible.
No, and it reminds us very eerily similar to that ad read we did just a little while ago of, let yourself focus on your business and everything else, let somebody else kind of help out. And so that's exactly what y'all are here to do. And, the team over here at Brixton, they've been a well-oiled machine. Chris is a regular over here, 2 years, 3 years now they've been over here? 4? And they're going to be a wonderful addition, not only to the competition, but to the CRA as well. Let's talk a little bit about the Brixton and what are you most excited about showcasing to the family tonight from the meal?
Oh my God. Well, so I have our new marketing manager, Hadley, here, and she hasn't been to Brixton. So, and Eve, we're very excited. Okay, so we already have bread and butter on the table because you have to. You have to start with the bread and butter. We have to have the wontons, right? Because they haven't, a little blood sausage, they haven't tried that. I always get the burrata, right? Whatever their set is there. I know Eve's having French onion soup. Yes, mwah, chef's kiss. French fries with French onion aioli. We're gonna double you up, Eve, so you're totally
Taters and onions.
Onion taken care of.
We do a lot of sling blade stuff here.
Damn, let's see. Mussels, very shareable, right? I think that is gonna have to happen. Yeah, and steak free. There you go. We just did it.
Burger also
Oh my
slaps.
God, yes. What do I not love on here? The duck I also love because of that radish cake. Oh my God.
See, this is why
I
I
have
love
never
dining.
had a bad bite of food in this restaurant.
And you can't have bad service either. The team always takes wonderful care of you, and here you are returning favor.
Well, and I went to Jacques for the first time like a week or so ago, and it was amazing. The vibe when you walk in that place. It was a Tuesday, I think. It was packed at 6:30. Hop in. It felt so good in there, and we loved it.
I love
loved
the
it.
vibe there. Like the
was
ambiance of it.
beautiful.
I think they did a fantastic job with making it feel like you're in a different country.
It's also kind of amazing in terms of execution. It was completely full. Every single table was full. We happened to be at the back of the restaurant. We walked all the way through, felt the vibe, sat down, and even though it was full, we could hear each other talk. It was very comfortable, but man, it really felt good. It felt like a party.
I've only done happy hour so far. So I need to make it a point to get in there for dinner. But their happy hour was super fun.
So good.
I'll tell you what, I did their brunch recently, and I actually did a pop-up with Chef Cheyenne not too long ago. Shout out to Stuzzi, Stuzzi. If you see that come across your social media page, that's something that needs to be well on your radar. The team over there knocks it out on the fucking park. JD over, formerly of Yacht Club and Bodega, is running, the house back there with Chef Nick and old Baloo. And then we're over here at their kind of mainstay, but it feels like you said, Chris, they did beautiful with channeling. Like, that neighborhood's a lot younger. It's a little more vibrant, but like you mentioned, Denise, you can still hear yourself. It's full on a Tuesday. They played beautifully into a neighborhood that he and I used to shit on regularly. It's the land of like douchebags, Brads, Chads, and terrible foods. But now there's a lot of quality eats in that area. I think Kawani is one that we could add to that kind of conversation. And while we may have lost the fifth string, like we still had somebody come in like Jacques, replace the low-high steak bar just down the street, so you get some of those, we're here for the food, instead of, we're just here to fucking party. Yeah, exactly. I love it. But this one has always been their, I guess, the flagship of their team. And so, like you said, you can't go wrong.
Not order a bad thing on this menu. I was going to say the beef tartare too. Hadley does not do the beef thing, but perhaps the rest of us might have to switch
Just
that.
aired her out like that.
I did.
Holy
It's okay.
shit.
I do not like eggs, which makes me a total weirdo. It is okay that Hadley does not do beef.
Place?
We're in a safe place. What?
I don't love mayonnaise.
Oh, we all know that. Doesn't everyone know that?
Yeah,
I knew
It's so
that.
dumb
This
how
is
he
your
sa-
sixth time. We knew the egg
It's
thing.
so dumb how he says that because he eats sauces that have mayo in them all the
Well,
time.
and I
I
eat
know.
things
Just-
that have
it's-
eggs in them.
I
I just
only
don't
do
want
your
like
Rumelon.
straight.
Nobody
I
really
don't-
just
I don't-
loves like
I don't
eat
use
mayonnaise,
I
but
don't put it on a sandwich. My lube
You know, I mean,
is
that's
a
a set.
mustard.
it comes out.
His life is not as complete because
That's
he
not true.
eschews mayo, but many people would say that about me in like, an omelet or whatever, and I find omelets vomitous, like gross. Yeah. So,
This is the last question before we let you go, and the bar gets too busy that Eve can't hear us well. I know. Again, shout out to our friends over at Brasserie Brixton. As Denise recently mentioned, there's about 17 different items that you could do no wrong by ordering. But it leads me to a question that's a little bit more intimate, a little more personal. We're going to ask you to take off the CRA hat.
okay.
Oh, okay. Fuck, my bad.
And what do I
Okay,
have
so we've
to
asked
tell
you all of our other personal questions. So this is the
Right.
most recent one. If you were an appetizer on a Chili's menu, or just a menu, what menu appetizer would you be?
Okay, first of all, I have to tell you a Chili's story. I don't think I've ever told you.
I know Eve
Because you
loves
said
tangents.
Chili's. When I was in college, Chili's was a favorite. I did not work there, but it was a favorite because their nachos, in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, their nachos were like, are they still this way? I haven't been in so long. One huge, they were like 4 huge chips, and they just assembled the nacho on each chip. It wasn't lots of dry chips underneath. It was like each huge chip was built with all the nacho toppings, so it was magical. And my roommate and I went to Chili's all the time for nachos.
It was great.
Loved
So
it.
she's a nacho.
Loved
Growing
it.
up, I loved a Southwest egg roll
Hey,
from Chili's.
it's happy hour all day, every day at Chili's. Don't forget that. That's a great answer.
If I was, for instance, at Brasserie Brixton, which I am, what I'm looking at on the table. I mean, a baguette, like a homemade crusty baguette, and some butter with some nice crunchy salt on it. I don't know how that's me, but I'm identifying with what I'm seeing in front of me.
That's not
And
a
caviar.
you can. It's refined or approachability. I know that. I'm a Birdcall Chicken with a little bit of caviar on top, and that's it. It's a little bit of that basic barrel, but at the same time you can elevate me. A little sprinkle, twinkle, twinkle, little star. I love it. I love it. Well, Denise, thank you so much for not only setting a record. We will have a blazer for you when you come on the podcast this summer to promote Denver food and wine as we get closer. But we know that the CRA is always doing great things, not only behind the scenes, but sometimes in front of the scenes. And we can't not wait for next Thursday. Before we get out of here, tell folks if they want to get tickets, how can they grab tickets to come taste not only Brixton, but 20, 30 plus great restaurants from across Colorado.
DrinkRedWearRed.com, baby. And don't forget to use Kip's promo code STONED. You'll get 10% off a $70 ticket. So there you go.
What time does the main event start again?
7 p.m.
7.
7 to 10. Denver Museum of Nature and Science, Thursday, May 30th. DrinkRedWearRed.com.
What's your favorite exhibit going right now? While they're not obviously all open, is it still blue whales?
The orcas exhibit is a must-see. That's really cool. Yeah.
We would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out. I mean, they are wonderful hosts. Like when you think of creative places, like, yeah, you could do Exdo or shout out to Michelin who did it at the Mission. But like being able to do it where you can kind of have fun, and like for those that are like Gems and Rocks fans, that's really neat. It's really a lot of fun, and it's only getting bigger, and it's going to be a long-term, it's a great place to host an event. And when you fill it with unlimited booze and all the snacks I could possibly eat, and I'm allowed to dance without shoes on, I'm going to be like Leo on Quaaludes. I cannot wait.
We could not do it without you.
We couldn't have this industry without y'all and what y'all do for our hospitality, cohorts and the industry employees. So thank you so much for everything not only you do, but that the CRA does. Until next week, y'all stay high, stay hungry.
Baguette and butter.
You have a microphone, use it, Eve.
French onion soup.
Ooh, cheers.
We love you, Jerry. Stay well. Cheers.